Hello, my name is David Mandel, Executive Vice President of the Water Center for Systems Thinking. I'm excited to guide you through our approach to tackling chronic absenteeism. For nearly 35 years, our organization has supported public education systems as well as entities in both the private and public sectors. We empower others to solve problems by applying the habits and tools of systems thinking, as we believe that addressing complex challenges and transforming systems requires a systems-oriented mindset. Let's proceed so I can elaborate on how we can assist you in overcoming the issue of chronic absenteeism. As you probably already know, recent analyses of attendance data from the United States in 2024 shows that 3 of 10 students are chronically absent, meaning that 30% of students in the United States miss at least 10% of the school year. The impacts of missing this much school or instructional time are numerous. The individual child who is absent misses out on the benefits of socialization, academic instruction, the safety net that schools can provide, and we know that students who are chronically absent significantly decrease their chances of high school graduation. When children are chronically absent, their lack of time in school also impacts the community in the short and long term. It is not hyperbole to say that chronic absenteeism is a crisis in many American schools and communities. Chronic absenteeism is not limited to any racial or ethnic group, though students from historically underserved populations, students from poverty, and those with disabilities have higher rates than their peers. This crisis has not gone unnoticed in school systems. Educators have attempted many interventions in schools to incentivize attendance and even sometimes to discipline students who are chronically absent. Few interventions have resulted in sustained positive outcomes. Quick fixes have not worked. A recent New York Times article summarized this shift in attitude about attendance, saying, "America's relationship with school has changed." If this is true, then it signals the issue of chronic absenteeism is a systems challenge that might be best addressed using systems thinking approaches. Students are chronically absent for many reasons, and a subset of the reasons can be controlled within the schoolhouse gates. Certainly, schools themselves have responsibility to manage the educational environment and provide students with the most optimal setting in which they can learn. However, if we believe that the relationship with schools has changed, then we also have to acknowledge that some of the avenues to address chronic absenteeism exist beyond what schools can directly control. We need to begin by understanding the stories around attendance and bringing together a broad network of people from the local systems to learn and act. Systems thinking provides us a framework and a guide to consider how the network of relationships that guide decisions about school attendance can be understood and where we can find leverage for change. Each school sits in a system with a community, households, families, and with students who have their own unique set of experiences and expectations. Every system is different from others, even in their surrounding area. Applying a one-size-fits-all solution for chronic absenteeism without taking time to study the system is exactly what so many schools have done before. We are guided by a belief that comes from a systems thinking mindset. Systems change is typically not achieved by optimizing one element of the system in isolation from other elements. To make a system work better, we can't optimize each element in isolation from others because we will naturally disregard the relationships, interdependencies, and feedback loops that exist between the elements. Therefore, we aim to engage in system analysis to understand the stories, data, and outcomes, increasing the capacity to drive lasting system change. Rather than quick fixes, we aim to develop a holistic strategy and find contextualized leverage for change that align with the nuances and features of your community. You get 2 payoffs when you partner with us to address chronic absenteeism. You learn the elements of systems thinking and you solve a challenge that you face. The Water Center for Systems Thinking, through 35 years of research and facilitation, has built capacity for systems thinking using the habits of a systems thinker and the tools of systems thinking. We use the habits and the tools to apply systems thinking practices to complex problems, like chronic absenteeism. By engaging with the habits and tools during our work with you, systems thinking capacity will increase, and we will work to address chronic absenteeism in your school system. You may be asking yourself at this point, how will we do systems thinking? And how will we solve the problem of chronic absenteeism in our school system? Let me give you an overview. We aim to gather a variety of stakeholders in your school system so that we have many voices, stories, and experiences at the table. Together, using systems thinking habits and tools, we will examine data from a variety of sources to understand the system. Remember, this goes beyond the school into the community, family, and household systems and includes student experiences. Using the data, we will define the challenges and set targets or desired outcomes for systems change. Unique to a systems thinking approach, we use our understanding of the system to find leverage. These might be small or unseen at first, actions that lead to large change in the system. Systems thinkers understand that targeted shifts, sometimes small ones, can make large impacts on a system. Lastly, we will develop an action plan guided by a systems thinking perspective so you can monitor and adapt the plan as needed based on your specific context. The outcomes of the workshop fall in two broad buckets. First, we aim to improve overall attendance rates and reduce students who fall into patterns of chronic absenteeism by strengthening systems that support students. The second bucket is that participants will engage with and enhance their own capacity for systems thinking. Our goal is that they will be able to apply systems thinking habits and even tools after our work is complete. Whether you feel like you're taking a first step or on your third iteration of a plan towards addressing chronic absenteeism, a systems thinking approach offers a fresh perspective and a new way to improve outcomes for your school community. If you're ready to take that next step, reach out to us using the QR codes to the right. You can visit our website to learn more. If you're ready to reach out and request a meeting, use the QR code in the middle. You can also visit our consulting service page for this particular service by using the QR code on the right. We hope to talk to you soon.